Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, this 6'5 metric build is the best point guard in all of NBA 2K22 Next Gen. You're going to see this has 6'4 stats at 6'5 for the height, and it's so crazy. You unlock animations that you're not supposed to be allowed to have at 6'5. You also unlock Hall of Fame mismatch expert when you're not supposed to have it at all when you're 6'5, and then you also gain the ability to have quick chain and handles for days on Hall of Fame instead of gold. Now, you can see, based on this, we have the 6'5 metric build right here, lined up right next to a regular default 6'4. You can tell this visibly looks a bit taller. Now, what I will say is, the one kind of spoof to metric builds to an extent is the fact that these have the exact same stats. They have all the exact same attributes. They're literally the exact same build. It's just this is a slight bit taller. Now, I think it's cool. I think it's really interesting. And what this video is more so to talk about is how I think 6'4s are actually a lot better than 6'5s under further review as far as a point guard build goes, or just a two-way point guard just in general. Because again, at 6'5 default height, you can't get any mismatch expert at all. And once again, handles for days and quick chain will be on Hall of Fame instead of gold compared to a 6'4 having in a Hall of Fame. So overall, 6'5 is a little bit limited as a point guard height, but we're here to show you how to get the best of both worlds. So we're gonna have the 6'5 height, but have 6'4 stats. Alright, so in like 2 or 3 minutes, we'll show you the actual process on how to create this build right here. You're going to see it's actually glitched like crazy. It has a 6'5 height, but with a 6'4 wingspan. We showcased this in the video from a couple days ago talking about whether or not metric builds are fair or whether they're a problem for the game. Honestly, I do think they are, but either way, it is what it is. It's the game that we play, and we're going to live with it as long as this is a thing. So anyway, again, moving forward, this build is going to be 6'5 with a 6'4 wingspan, 175 on the weight. You're actually going to have the ability to have 94 speed as well on a 6'5 build, which isn't supposed to be a thing. Once again, that's restricted to most 6'4s. But anyway, moving along, what I want to showcase here is I think this is a pretty good balance as far as this build goes. Now, obviously, I dropped the three-pointer by 1. It maxed out at 5. This does cost you getting Hall of Fame stop and pop. I feel like this is a very, very difficult build to balance the attributes on. I also dropped the steal rating from 90 down to 81. Obviously, having that 90 threshold will be pretty nice, but it's very hard to achieve everything that you want on this build. So listen, I do understand if you guys are a little bit disappointed with the attributes as far as what they look like. It's all to be able to get 65 driving dunk though for the quick drops off 1. I think this absolutely 100% makes your finishing game way better than if you have no dunk at all. Whereas if you did have no dunk at all and no layup, and because you do no dunk and no layup, you can do no vertical either, then boom, you max out the acceleration. You can put your steal rating to like 90. You could max out your speed with ball. You can do all types of different stuff. You could even max out your 95 three-pointer, get the Hall of Fame stop and pop. I mean, obviously the list goes on and on. When you don't upgrade your driving dunk, it's that much easier to upgrade a build in every other category. Or you could even go with the 40. I do want to make a very small case for this. I do want to let you guys know if you go with the 40, you can get the Mccollum dunk package. It actually is a little bit viable. I made a video on it. I'll be popping the clips on the screen right now as I'm talking over this. If you trust in this and the fact that you can still dunk when you're open in most situations, then you could absolutely make a build like that. And then at that point, boom, there you go. You have the 95 three-pointer. You can even up your pass accuracy to like 86. There's obviously even more that we could do with this build. I mean, you could add multiple different things to it. I think strength is really nice to have as far as being a lockdown as well. Improves the way that you bump people on defense. You could add 1 mid-range for an extra shooting badge, 1 steal rating for an extra defensive badge, and put the rest into like free throw or something like that. Boom, there you go. Now, again, this is how much, it depends on how much you trust in that 40 driving dunk. I don't exactly have a lot of experience when it comes to the 40 driving dunk. I made a 5'9 point guard build myself that has 40 dunk, but I obviously can't use it quite enough. It just became kind of a problem. I made it before Rebirth was a thing as well, so the badge grinding was a little bit tedious. Now, I play with a point guard, Shots Top 5. He made a point guard build that has 40 driving dunk as well, but then he ended up making a new one as well. So long story short, I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to all that stuff. But on top of that too, I play with an inside big man, so whenever he was on that build, it's pretty rare that he would end up driving regardless. I really do think this could be pretty viable if you run a lot of outside spacing stuff like that. But then at that point, if you do run a lot of outside big man spacing stuff, you probably do want to be a reliable dunker and have 65. So overall, I think this is worth a risk if you're willing to take it, but at the end of the day, I think the safe build would be to make 65 driving dunk and just drop a couple of those attribute ratings that we're talking about, the acceleration down a little bit. The free throw is debatable. Obviously, this isn't something that everybody's willing to do. But again, man, it gets very difficult to balance some of these attributes when it comes to trying to put that 65 driving dunk on. Once again, you would lose like 1 three-pointer, 2 mid-range. You'd lose 1 pass accuracy. You can't get the maxed out speed with ball, which puts you at like 91 instead now. I would say the 2 biggest notable hits that you take on trying to get this driving dunk is that you're going to have to drop your steal rating to like 81 instead of 90. And then also the acceleration goes down to 89 instead of like, what, 92 or 91, something like that. Overall, I think this is a little bit safer, but this is more so for the two-way people who don't exactly care about investing 100% into offense when it comes to being a point guard. You feel like either you and your squad can play solid defense enough to be able to take stuff like this, and maybe you and your squad need you to be on a driving dunk point guard a little bit more that has 65 and it's extremely reliable. Whereas maybe if you're playing with a true inside big man and you don't exactly need to be such a driving point guard, then I think you can definitely afford to just go with the 40 and max out on things like steal, obviously get the like maxed out speed with ball, 95 three-pointer, and at that point you're not a liability at the PG spot. I think a lot of these small point guards, you can supplement what they do with this build. 91 speed with ball, if you are obviously, like I said, the inside version of this where we don't have driving dunk, 91 speed with ball can definitely get the job done. It is so unfortunate though that it doesn't have one more speed with ball for the Hall of Fame quick first step. But again, what I'm going to showcase after we show how to make this build is the fact that this 6'5" build gets every dribble move in the game. Default 6'5s can't get the D-Rose size up package. They can't get all types of meta dribble moves that are required to be 6'4" or under. So overall, this is a nice little like advantage as far as that goes, as well as, like I said, with the 6'5" builds, you're only a max of like 90 ball handle. So what you get for being 91 handles for days on Hall of Fame, then for 92 you get quick chain on Hall of Fame as well. So overall, I think these stats on this metric 6'5" are really, really glitchy. Once again, one of the biggest driving points of this is that you can actually get Hall of Fame mismatch expert, even though you can see it says you must be 6'4" or shorter and it says we're 6'5". I'll showcase to you guys that you can actually equip this. But anyway, as far as the takeover options for both versions of the build, it ends up getting shot, sharp, play, and lock. Pretty basic standard stuff when it comes to the point guard position, but either way, it is pretty nice that you can still get lock take on a build that only has 85 perimeter defense and like 81 steal rating. So that is definitely interesting, I'll say the least. Now, I don't think you want to go super crazy for on-ball steals or, for that matter, passing lanes when you only have 81 steal rating, but I think you can definitely get the job done as far as passing lanes go, and bum steals really rule the game, in my opinion, at the end of the day. Now, obviously, if you run things like perimeter baz drop, it does become a little bit interesting, but you don't exactly have enough steal rating to be going viably for on-ball steals, if you ask me. I think this build is more so meant to be a very balanced offensive point guard that still doesn't completely lack in defense. Still has really good perimeter defense. You have great speed for guarding ball. Again, 94 speed and 85 perimeter defense on a 6'5" build is definitely still very, very doable on defense. Do not let this low perimeter defense rating or steal rating mislead you in terms of thinking that you can't play great defense with this build. As well as the fact that you can see we do have bronze chasedown artist and bronze intimidator with the block rating that we do have. The one knock and the one downside to not being a true 6'5" default build is that you don't get rim protector. All you would get this on is bronze though, regardless at these ratings. But anyway, moving along, I want to showcase to you guys how to actually create the build. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to start with making it in the metric system. So we're gonna come all the way back out here, go to settings, come down to this point right here of the units of measurement and switch this to metric. Now, this is a pretty basic setup. It really doesn't take too long. I promise you guys, it's very, very simple. All right, so now the beginning is the only semi-complicated aspect of this. So you're gonna create a new build. You're gonna go ahead and hit yes on the rebirth if you have that option available. Go ahead and just make it whatever handness, whatever jersey number you want, and then boom. Now, with this, we're gonna go to 1.77 on the height. Now after that, you're going to want to come all the way down on the weight, but then it's going to stop you right here at 66. What you want to do is change the body shape to slight, and then you come back to the weight and move it to 65. Boom, there you go. So now for the wingspan, we're going to put it to 1.75. It now unlocks the fact that we have a 6'4" wingspan with a 6'5" height, and there you go. Now you're going to just simply max out any attributes you want. Boom, go to like finishing, shooting, playmaking. It really does not matter. You are just absolutely putting all this stuff, as far as you can put it. Doesn't matter what you put. Anyway, next up, you can go ahead and just finalize the build, put whatever takeovers you want on it, finish it, and then you're going to hit edit build. Not start, not test. You're going to hit edit build. Again, if you don't have the sharpshooter title that I have right here, it doesn't matter. It's because you upgraded different attribute ratings than I did. Really does not matter at all. You're just going to hit edit build, come back out, boom. There's the build you're looking at. Now, you're going to go to the metric system again and change it to Imperial. You're going to come out to the menu, go to settings, boom, scroll down to here, and then with the units of measurement, like I said, we're changing back to Imperial. Now, it's literally as simple as this. You already got the hard part done. This is literally as simple as this now. We're going to come into the build selector again. Also, I hate when it does that stupid stuff with the screen. But anyway, this is the build you're looking at. 5'10", 145 on the weight. And then boom, you're just going to go ahead and edit it. You're going to obviously hit yes on the rebirth if you want that. And now it's literally as simple as this. You want to hit to the right on your D-pad or just right on your left stick, whatever the case is. If you're on PlayStation or Xbox, it doesn't matter. Hit to the right. You're going to change your height to 6'5", and boom, here you go. Now it's all set up. You can completely mold this in the exact same way that I've just done, and you don't have to change the weight or the wingspan or anything like that. If you do want to change the weight though, you can get your perimeter defense up a little bit. If you plan to not even, really go maxed out on speed with ball or acceleration, it it really isn't going to hurt you anything too much to go up to like 181 on the weight. I mean, it's really not costing you anything, to be honest, if you plan to make it the way that I did. Now, obviously, that means you're going to make it with more perimeter defense, which is kind of contradictive because then at that point, you're spending points that you could have just used in the speed with ball or acceleration. But again, it's up to you, whatever you want to do with it. One of the points would obviously be speed though, and we do want to max out the speed. It's what makes this build special. It's the fact that you are 6'5" and you have 94 speed, and other things that make the build special as well is, again, the fact that you have 95 3-pointer, you have Hall of Fame mismatch expert when you're not even supposed to have that at all. You have the ability to get the 92 ball handle, which gives you the Hall of Fame quick chain and Hall of Fame handles for days. Again, there's a lot of special things about this build. We're going to showcase to you though now what you can actually get in terms of the animations. Nothing is locked at all. And then again, I do want to showcase to you guys that you can equip Mismatch Expert as a badge even if you create this build. So we're going to go ahead and showcase that real quick. All right, so just so you guys know that there's no funny business going on or anything like that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upgrade my 3-pointer to 71 and let you guys see that, because it's what you have to do to be able to get Mismatch Expert on any level. And as you can see, it's literally unlocked on bronze right here. You can equip it, boom, simple as that. And, you know, obviously I could showcase that you can get it to Hall of Fame, but there's no point in me spending that much VC. Obviously, you understand the concept here. You can get this to Hall of Fame if you just put the attribute rating high enough. Simple as that, which you obviously can get the 94 3-pointer. Now again, whether you create the version of the build that gets 95 3-pointer or it gets 94 and you, for instance, wanted the one that had 65 driving dunk, obviously it's up to you. Stop and pop is gold on 4 for whatever you do between the two builds. So honestly, it's not even that big a deal. If you don't plan to even run Hall of Fame stop and pop because you think it'd be too many shooting badge points into that, then I would definitely say you can settle for 94 3-pointer. 95 isn't that big a difference. Again, the only big difference is it gives you Hall of Fame stop and pop. That's literally it. But anyway, to showcase some animations, I just want to let you guys see what you can equip and what you can't. Literally, the only thing you can't equip when it comes to any dribble moves is going to be big dribble style. It's literally it. Everything else, it does say locked. That means that you can get this, though, if you upgrade your ball handle rating high enough. Restricted means you literally can't get it because it's height restricted. So again, you can get the quick and shifty dribble styles. Obviously, that's pretty much something every point guard can get. And then for the signature size ups, you can get the D-Rose size up. I'll just scroll down to this to let you guys see it. Once again, everything is going to say locked, but that doesn't mean restricted. Locked means, as you can see, as far as the height cap goes, it's in green. Height under 6'5", and it says 6'5", but it's technically under 6'5". It's just 6'5 3/4 pretty much. But again, you can get anything, whether it's the Season 4 releases. Every single dribble move in the game is literally just locked. It's not restricted. Signature combos, literally every single thing. Size up escape packages, literally every single thing. Moving crossovers, moving behind the backs. I mean, the list goes on and on. Nothing is restricted. Everything is strictly just locked. So if you did want to make the build that only gets 40 driving dunk, you can go into scoring moves, dunk styles, and then move down to the CJ Mccollum dunk package. Now you can see everything is restricted in this category except for the CJ Mccollum dunk package. You can get these visual dunks to pop off like I implemented in the screen and I showed you guys as I was hovering over the 40 driving dunk earlier in the video. But again, every other dunk package is going to be restricted. What you can do though, as well as if you go into the dunk creator, you can just make any file you want. And then what you're going to see is you can get other packages as well. You can get like the rim grazers, you can get the hangs, whether it's off 1 or off 2 for the rim grazers, and then for the hangs you can only get it off 2. But anyway, again, if you wanted to like implement the CJ McCollum dunk package into this signature dunk creator as well, you can do that as well. But overall, it's very limited. There's not a whole lot of options as far as this stuff goes, but you can get them to pop off pretty often. I would definitely recommend to put on as many of these as you possibly can, because at that point, the more you can dunk, the better. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, forget to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try to 1 to 500 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put 6'5" in the comments to show support you made all the way through, or 6'4". Don't really care which. Obviously, like I said, this is 6'5" visually, but it has 6'4" stats. It's a really cool, interesting thing. I think it's a really good build. And overall, it gives you the best of both worlds. You have the height for defense, yet you still have such versatile offense. It's really, really good, I gotta say. Now, obviously, you can't see the ratings from here, but again, we've already gone over pretty much everything as far as this stuff goes. If you want the 40 driving dunk one, you can go ahead and take that risk. If I were to make this build personally, though, I'd probably go with a 65 driving dunk, just because I would like to have that comfortability of knowing that you have the best dunk in the game and you have a very reliable rating in terms of having that pop off every single time. It can't be stressed enough. 65 driving dunk is much better than 40, whether it's just for getting quick drops off 1, the bronze limitless takeoff, the reliability of you actually dunking the ball every single time. The list goes on and on. But again, I think 40 is a bit doable. It's a little bit risky though. I will let you guys know that. But anyway, like I said, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Other than that, feel free to leave any feedback in the comments and hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.